Hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 2 of healing the belief sabotaging your weight loss. I had so many direct messages yesterday from y'all from day 1, the overview. Thank you so much. For those of you that put in a comment, thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. You know, shadow work is so worth it. It is so healing and cathartic, and your confidence. I mean, it's like you unlock a confidence code. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you're unlocking the code to who you really are, who you're meant to be. And it's just so awesome. And I get so excited about it. And I want everybody in the world to do this, because when you start healing, I mean, the weight comes off of you. And, you know, for women, when we start losing weight, our self-confidence goes up. We feel more empowered. We feel more in charge of who we are. It's like we reclaim ourselves. We take back who we are. So I'm excited. I'm excited that you guys are excited. Now today is probably going to be a shorter video, but more work for you guys, because today is my reflective mirror technique. Now, in order to find your shadows, you got to know where they hide. And they're hidden deep, 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 deep within, as we talked yesterday. And so you kind of have to go on a shadow hunt. I know that's probably not a good word, but it's how I think of it. You know, whenever I feel like something's blocking me, or I run the same pattern, we'll talk about patterns, I think, tomorrow. I run the same pattern, or you just look over your life and you think, why do I keep getting to, I kind of picture a gate, you know, 2 columns. Now, I don't know why I think of Athens, Greece when I think about these, because I've never been there, but I picture, you know, living back then, and you had to walk through these pillars. And when you walk through the pillar, life would change. Life would become amazing. And then, of course, you'd have to walk through more pillars. I mean, the pillars are never ending. But I always picture that when I feel a shift, and when you heal a shadow, you will feel a shift. It is a noticeable, holy smokes, what was that? I mean, it's really, and I still feel those emotions when I heal shadows. I still go like, wow. First of all, I didn't know that I had that shadow hidden. And second of all, wow. So you feel this shift. So so think of it however you want to think about it, but it's like you're going through a door and you're leaving that part of you behind, and you're moving into the new part of you. And it takes time. I mean, sometimes you can rapid fire heal shadows, bam, 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 because that's how they kind of all lined up. And then it takes a while to heal more, because when you heal shadows, you have to get used to who you are now. Because when you become more confident, you have to embrace that part. When you start losing weight, a lot of reason why women lose weight and gain it back is the shadow of being the center of attention, having everybody stare at you. What you think, you know, when you're thin, oh, you know, did people when you were younger say, oh, look at her, you know, dressing like that? I mean, it could be anything. That when you heal that shadow and you realize that losing that weight was okay, it was great, fantastic, you have to get used to that new version of you. So as you heal shadows, you change, a new version of you shows up. And sometimes, you know, families aren't thrilled with the new person. And that's an adjustment period that you all have to work through. And that, I mean, if you want to talk to me about it, let me know. And that's why at the end, I'll be offering some coaching with this, because there's many different pieces to healing your shadow. It's kind of like looking at a puzzle, at a shadow puzzle. And it's funny I bring up puzzles, because I can't, you know, if you give me a 10-piece puzzle, I'll be there for a day. I know it's just not how I see life, but it's like a puzzle, and all these puzzle pieces go together. And sometimes as your confidence increases in unbelievable ways, not everybody around you may be thrilled. So sometimes you have to, you know, switch out friends, switch out relationships, you know, who knows what you need to switch out. But we're going to figure this out and move forward. So the reflective mirror technique, I want you to, this is something you have to do alone by yourself in a quiet area. So if you have kids at home, you may want to find, you know, maybe a closet to sit in, because I want you to sit down I want you to picture walking into a movie theater. So I want you to picture walking up to a movie theater, showing your phone because you have your ticket on your phone, going to a ticket booth to buy your tickets. You walk into the theater, you give your ticket to the guy at the ticket stand. He takes your ticket, you go up, of course, you get popcorn and a soda pop because, you know, now if you're in some of the movie theaters we have in Phoenix, you might stop and get a drink and take it in with you. But for this, for the reflective life, for the reflective mirror technique, you don't want drinks. So, and just go into the theater and sit down. And in your mind, picture this big screen in front of you and flashes on your name, Susie, this is your life. And watch your life start at the earliest age of your memory. And everybody has different memories. I have friends that can remember when they were 1 or 2 years old. I have friends, you know, I go back to maybe 4 or 5, and I don't remember anything really before that. And even 4, 5, 6 is sketchy. I have to call my sister a lot of times and say, what about this? So wherever you go back and just sit and watch it. Don't edit it. Don't stop because you see something you don't want to see. Just let it run and just go through it. What is it showing you? What are you seeing? Is it good? Is it bad? That doesn't matter at this point because your past, the meaning of your past is the meaning that you give it. That's why I said yesterday, and I will always say, you could have 2 people with the same exact experience, remember it totally differently. Remember it in a totally different way because it's how your mind at that age interpreted it. And remember, from 0 to 8, 0 to 9, you have no blocks. So just go through, you know, and sometimes you need prompts, you know, where was I at 1 year old or 2 years old, or, you know, oh, I remember going on vacation. Sometimes you need to prompt yourself, you know, what about this? And just you're watching the movie of your life, however long it takes you to watch the movie of your life. And I want you to have a journal, and I have to have some Blue Rose journals made. I ran out of them, but I have beautiful Blue Rose journals. And I realized this morning I was out, but get a journal and just as soon as you're done. Now, when you're done, take about 10 deep breaths in and out. Thank the universe. You always want to thank the universe for showing you things. You always want to thank the universe for helping you on your path. So you just want to say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then get out your journal and start writing. Don't type it into a computer, write, because there's something about the mind to the hand to the paper that makes it more real and opens yourself up more. And just type and just write and write what you saw. If you're interpreting it, that's fine. If you say, oh, I saw going to the grocery store with my mom and I got on one of those little horses that moved up and down for 10 cents and some gentleman put 10 cents into the machine and my mom came out and was so excited that, where did I get the money to ride the horse? Or it could be a different story where you're on the horse, riding the little horse, and some guy goes by, he puts money in the horse, goes into the store. Your mom comes out and says, where the hell did you get the money? What's wrong with you? You talk to strangers. You're not allowed to talk to strangers. Don't let men give you money. It could be either one of those scenarios. And actually, that's a true scenario for me. A guy did put 10 cents in a horse. My mother was none too pleased by it. I thought it was cool that, somebody some random guy, it really was a random act of kindness because I was just waiting for my mom. I wasn't doing anything, just hanging. It was a random act of kindness that my mother rejected. So, you have to look at those type of things. What meaning did you put on it? How were you? How were you dressed? Try to remember as much as you can. And this movie technique, it's not like you only have to do it once. You can keep going back and saying, okay, I remember, baking a pie in 9th grade and nobody liked the pie, but why didn't anybody like the pie? And you might go back and say, okay, I got to go back and do the reflective mirror technique again and go back to that moment and see if you can see it's still going to be your truth. So maybe nobody liked the pie because, somehow you bought bad bananas. I don't know. I'm not a baker, or something like that. And if that's the case, then you need to, and we're going to get into healing and reframing later, how you fix this. Right now, I just want you to look at the patterns holding you back. I'm sorry, your past. And I want you, as you go through the reflective mirror technique, I want you to keep your ego silenced. So whenever you're doing this and you have your eyes closed and you're going through it and a voice pops into your head, interpreting it for you, that is your ego. Thank your ego. Say, thank you, I've got this. Thank you, I'm fine. Thank you, I bless you, move on. Bless it and move on. And you'll learn, I mean, it's the same technique when you meditate, when you're meditating in a voice that, your voice pops into your head, you bless it and let it go. You're telling your ego, yes, I hear you. That way it doesn't keep yammering, but I don't need you right now. I'm not listening to you right now. I'm listening to my soul. That is the point of this exercise, is to listen to your soul. So put in the comments that you're going to do this. Say, yes, I'm doing a reflective mirror technique. If you have questions, direct message me, please. This is a fundamental part of looking for shadows. And in my VIP coaching and in my regular coaching, I actually take women through this to kind of help prompt them, because until you get used to it, you can hit a point in your life where there's painful. Maybe your parents got divorced when you were 8, and that's a painful part. People have a natural desire to skip over it. So they'll kind of look at it and skip. And that's kind of where you need to take the deep dive and look at and think, what was going on around you? And what were you asking yourself? What do you think you heard? What do you think you saw? And what you can do sometimes is go through this one time and then write in your journal, but then do it a second time. And as you're going through it and you're more comfortable with it, you can actually stop and write and take notes. I mean, I do that now, because I'll do it and I'll sit and I'll look at something. I'll be like, I didn't know that. And sometimes I don't even open my eyes. I just write on a piece of paper, or I have a tape recorder and just talk in the tape recorder. And then if you put a tape recorder over to Google Keep, it'll translate it into, text. Or if you go into Microsoft Word and look over in dictation and click on dictation, it'll transcribe as well. And also Otter.ai will transcribe for you as well. And I think they have a free 14-day trial, but because I use that for my podcast. So today's thing is to do the reflective mirror technique. Understand, as we talked yesterday, your ego is here to protect you. Your ego is not your friend. Your ego wants to keep you in a 10 by 10 room, no doors, no windows. The ego does not want you leaving that room because it wants you to be safe. So every time you go to up level your life, your ego steps up and says, no, let's not do that. So you've got to learn how to know what voice is your ego voice and what voice is your soul voice. What voice is your ego voice and which voice is your enchanted voice, because you will learn to recognize what your enchanted voice sounds like. And if you meditate, or if you're kind of a deep introspective person, you probably already know the difference, but there'll be different tonality. There'll be a difference in the whole way your voice shows up. I mean, I can always tell when it's my ego voice, a voice of fear, saying danger, danger, you're in trouble. And I can tell when it's my enchanted voice speaking with love. So that's your assignment for today. Take notes. Please direct message me if you have any questions. Put it in a comment that you're going to do this technique. And if you want to put back, in the comments later what you thought about this technique, let me know. But I'm also here to answer questions. I really, at the end of these 5 days, want you to understand what shadows, what beliefs are holding you back from losing weight. And the reflective mirror technique is a great way to find it, because you may go back to a point in your life where you were having a cupcake and your mother walked by and made some coy comment about you cupcakes and, heaviness, or, Uncle hugged you and said, aren't you a chubby one? Who knows? But you're going to find this, and hopefully over these 5 days, it's tough. I'll be honest, finding, usually you might need some guidance, and that's what I'm here for. And again, you can always, direct message me if you need some guidance on this. Hope this helped. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow on day 3, we're going to talk about patterns, power of questions, etc. So take notes today. So when we go back tomorrow, you'll be able to reflect on your notes, and if you want, we can chat about it live. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. and tomorrow will be actually live. Today couldn't be live. I have a meeting that keeps popping up. This is crazy pants. So hope this helped you guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Here's to you finding your blue rose and unlocking your confidence code so you can ignite your possibilities and find your blue rose. Talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.